What is the learning curve to get started with rank and rent digital real estate? This is a super commonly asked question, and typically from those that would not consider themselves tech savvy. I know for me, when I started in 2016, I bought my first program. I started learning about SEO. I started learning about domains. I started learning about backlinking and content and all the different stuff. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know any of these terms, and I had the same question. I remember getting on the call and getting that first program and not knowing anything. And I've said this example, and it sounds stupid, it sounds funny, but guys, I did not know the definition of a domain. I didn't know that was the www dot whatever part. I thought that was just called a website. I didn't know that was called a domain. Didn't know backlinks, didn't know page titles and H1 tags and meta descriptions and image optimization. I didn't know any of this stuff. And so I had the same question, what is the learning curve? And typically when people ask this, they are thinking in their heads about the technical side, but what they're not understanding and what they're not thinking about is actually they should be thinking, what is the learning curve to get the deals? Because all the technical stuff, that's the easy part, guys. And I've said this again and again and again. I've got a group right now. It's a free Facebook group. If you guys are not in it, check somewhere on the, around this video, art-of-preselling.com. It's a free Facebook group. We have over 5,000 members in it right now as I'm creating this video, okay? And I would say at least half of these people, so 2,500 people, already have websites, already know how to build a website, do SEO, rank a website, and get leads. They already know the learning curve part that everyone seems to be referring to. And guess what? Why are they in that group? They're in that group because they can't make money. They don't know how to go get a deal. They don't know how to get a business owner to pay them. And if you do not have a business owner paying you for your website, I don't care how many leads it's got, I don't care how good it's ranking, how many keywords it's ranking for, how much traffic, you, my friend, have a hobby, not a business. So when people are saying, oh, what's the learning curve? They're always talking about the technical. Guys, that's not that difficult. I'm somebody dropped out of college, average score on my ACT, SAT test. I took an ACT. I know some people take it, the SAT. Middle of the pack, basically everything, average human, okay? Never done it before. I didn't know about any of this stuff until I was 25, 26 years old. And since then, I have made millions of dollars in this business. What you should be asking is, what is the learning curve with the sales side? What is the learning curve with getting people to give you money? Because that is the part that is important. That is the part that's going to make or break you, okay? But I will say this, on the technical side, it is not nearly as complex as you think and I'm going to answer it like that because that's what people are generally asking, but I'm just trying to get in your head. You should be thinking about the sales. You should be thinking about getting the deals. You should be thinking about negotiation and closing and eliminating objections and overcoming objections and all these different things that actually matter, okay? But on the technical side, for those of you that are like, man, what's the learning curve? I've never done anything. I've never done an online business. I don't know anything about building websites and all. Well, first of all, inside of Digital Landlords, my program, we go over everything A to Z. Now, is that the only place that you can learn it? Of course not. I'm just letting you know that is exactly what we do. We go over everything A to Z after you get the deal. It's the second part of our program, okay? We want everyone to focus on the deal. But it's not that difficult. That part is such a cinch. It's not that difficult. It's steps that you have to learn. And then once you learn them, you can repeat them. So it's not that difficult. It is going to take you a little bit of time to wrap your head around, okay, here's how Google works. Here's why Google, at least according to what we think, why they rank certain websites. And these are the things that are important. And here's why. Again, this is all based on theory because none of us actually know the answer. But it does take a moment to like wrap your head around this whole, search engine and what we need to do to optimize and how we can kind of think about it the way Google would. Once you do that, the actual steps, right? Clicking new website, clicking a new template, dragging a text box over, copy and pasting your content, like that is not difficult. I could train a third grader to do that. I could train my son, I think he's in fourth grade right now. I could probably train my daughter who's not even in I think she's in second grade or first. Anyway, it depends on when this video comes out. But nonetheless, guys, the learning curve is not near as steep as you think it is. What you need to be thinking about is, how am I going to get in and make money? How am I going to get in and get a deal? How am I going to get in and actually get somebody to pay me? Because once you do that, in a worst case scenario, you could go into my free group or inside of Digital Landlords. You can say, hey, I need somebody to help me with the technical backside of the technical part of this. You'd have 100 people ready to do it. In fact, we have a little bit of it's not me that does it, but I have a deal where you can do done for you stuff. I don't do it again. It's someone I can refer you to. But if you want to do it, it's very, very cost effective. Quit stressing about that. The learning curve is not that much. I'll tell you that the learning curve is not near as much as it would be to run a McDonald's, as near as it would be to run a Jimmy John's. It's not near as it would be as much as it would be to do a million other things. It's not that difficult. And again, even if it was, who cares? You are trying to create a better life, a better future. You're trying to get out of your current situation and become rich, right? And rich, again, is defined as becoming free. Time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. I'm out.